người, hôm nay gia đình đi chơi.
Đây là hai mọi người đi. Hai mọi người.
Udah beres.
Ta đi chợ
Rồi
rồi.
đó.
Đi
Udah. Udah dah. Bella, say hi. Chào mọi người. Let's go sit over here. No. Step. Is that fun? Ok, bây giờ thì mình đi camp.
yellow flowers in here are called lotus. Those plants were considered sacred to the ancient Egyptians. Once that flower falls off, it'll leave a tiny seed pod that will continue to grow. You can see some up in front. Those are harvested by the Seminole Indians every year. They'll shuck those nuts out of there, roast them, and eat them like peanuts. Left alone, they turn brown and dry, and then they can be harvested for the floral supply industry. You may have very well seen some in flower arrangements. Okay, here we go. To our right, a big mound right there in those trees, that is a gator nest.
Oh, that's cool.
What Mama does, she clears out that vegetation, puts it in a pile, lays her eggs in there. As that vegetation rots, it creates heat, incubates her eggs. Anything over 90 degrees will be male gators, under that will be female gators. They typically have about 30 per nest. Less than 10% will survive due to predators. What does survive will stay with the mother for 2 years. But they are on their own from day one as far as food goes. They have to start catching minnows, bugs, frogs, anything their size. As they grow, they move up the food chain. Fish, turtles, birds, animals, anything they can catch, they'll eat. Yes.
How long do they live?
Average about 70, but they can get older.
Cool. Ow.
And Mama is close. She will not leave that nest.
Is she over there?
Not for long. And those mamas, they can get kind of testy. If she decides to come over here and go on the attack, you don't have to worry about outrunning Mama. All you got to do is outrun the slowest one in the boat. Okay, here we go.
Sprinkling.
Where?
Right there.
What do you see?
It's a dragonfly.
Oh,
You move. He's gone.
well, you might have saw Mama.
No.
the top of the tree line, there's a bald eagle sitting there.
Oh yeah, there he is.
See his big white head. Those birds, they stand close to 2 feet high. They got a wingspan 5 to 6 feet. They can see prey over a mile away.
There he is.
Takes them 5 years before they get a white head. When they mate for life. They'll keep using the same nest year after year. It just keeps getting bigger. They got a camera on one over at Cape Canaveral. They estimate that nest to weigh 1,200 pounds. It's got 6 to 8 dog and cat collars in it. We have about 22 nesting pairs here locally. Florida, we have the 3rd highest population in the country, behind Alaska and Minnesota. We used to be 3rd for beef cattle. We've been slipping down that list through the years due to development. But we are number 1 for 3 other categories. That is shark bites, gator bites, and lightning strikes. Yeehaw.
Go Florida.
Okay, here we go.
They're very good at this. I'll need some of your help out there. When they jump up and successfully pull a piece of food off the cable in that microsecond of time when they pull it off the line, I just want you guys to quickly clap your hands because it lets them know they did a good job. All that boring stuff out of the way.
Attention all World Florida guests. Harry Smith, party of 4, please make your way to the back deck behind the gift store. Harry Smith, party of 4, please make your way to the back deck behind the gift store for the boat ride. Thank you.
All right, we're back on. All the boring talking out of the way, do you guys want to see some alligators eat? Yes, I love you guys. We're going to set out the food because this is the coolest part, is the animals. You guys are awesome. So, again, alligators. They're amazing animals, but a myth, they do not eat every day. They're opportunistic. That means they eat whatever they can, whenever they can. So you may ask yourself, why would they jump out there? They jump for a prey item, such as a bird nesting over the water's edge, a raccoon, or a possum on a bridge. They see an opportunity for a meal, and they will take a jump for it. Crocodile! Oh! That's Clyde. He's a West African crocodile. And here comes Gucci, the alligator, going up against Zilla. Oh! That other alligator pushed him out of the way, and Jeremiah slam dunk! Hey! We did it! We did it! You guys are awesome! You guys are awesome! That's exactly what I was looking for. So, as this show progresses, I want to kind of talk you through it, because a lot of people see the jumping behavior, and they think, oh, they're jumping with their feet. We jump with our feet, but that is very deep lake water out there, so they harness the power of their tail. You see an alligator and a crocodile's tail, it's half their length, 1/3 their weight. Put simply, the tail is that giant muscle that sends them flying out of the water. And I want you guys to watch this next jump. You'll literally see it happen. They see it from afar. Their head tilts up, their legs to the side, and they swish their tail in an S-like motion. The S-like motion is the propulsion that sends these crocodiles and alligators flying out of the water. Oh, they just went at half power. Very lazy, and Warthog got it! There we go! That's what I'm talking about. So, what seems like a jump we would take is more of a propulsion jump with the tail. But don't get me wrong, in shallow water, they do harness the power of their legs, but in that deep lake water, that jump is accomplished using that tail. Now, if you look right now in the water, there's a funny looking alligator. That's because that's a crocodile, the bright yellow crocodile. Her name is Queso. They're a Morelet's crocodile. They're found in Mexico and Belize. She may look small to some of you guys, but she is fully grown. And then the other crocodile that just jumped right there, the big, kind of a broad snout to him, his name is Clyde, again, the West African crocodile. They'll get around 12 feet fully grown, and they've had alligator record lengths over 15 feet. All right, so let's see who's going to get our next piece of food. We got the next line out. And the jumping behavior, you may wonder, is this enough food? Is this the only way we feed them? Believe me or not, this is actually the way we give our animals the option to exercise. It's not their primary feeding. Oh! So again, they're lazy by nature. It was up to them. They float in the water if you guys kept dropping food in their mouth. So this is a great way to give our animals the option to exercise, get enrichment through the form of jumping for their food. And if they do not get a piece of food here, my job is to literally hand feed them later on. Oh! Jaw pop. You guys in the bridge heard that jaw pop. And Zilla! All right. You guys have been so awesome. I can tell we're liking this, but I want to up the wow factor. I'm going to go inside to attempt to hand feed the alligators. My sound may cut out, but we'll see how it goes. Now, you may ask yourself, why is this guy in here hand feeding the alligators if you could just feed them from the bridge? Well, we want to get these animals acclimated to us being in here. So I'm going to call food. We're going to restart. Here, up, hold, hold. You guys help me. Everyone say Thor, hold. And listen for the pop. Oh, very soft. Alligators have one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom. At this size, this bite is easily over around 1,500 pounds. And when they slam their jaws shut, you will hear it. It sounds like a baseball bat slam. All right, here we go. Listen closely. Hold. I think the mic cut out at the wrong time. Oh, let's pause for the jump. They're going up. Queso's going up. Little Queso. Long jaws. And Clyde, oh! Gator versus crocodile. And look at, here's the small alligator. That's little Thomas. Never let the small ones fool you. They're some of the best jumpers. They're fast. They got that muscle. Thomas, he got nervous. Hold. 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 All right, listen to that jaw pop. Here we go. Oh, Thor, your batteries are running out. And Jeremiah, oh! Let's see if that's, who is that? That's Louie? It looks like Gecko's coming right up behind me. Hold, hold, hold. There you go, buddy. And, ooh, big one. All right, Gecko, come over here. You naughty alligator. So, as well as getting close, hey, give him a hand. Alligators love hands. All right, so this is station training now. I can call the alligators up to a certain point, only feed them at a certain point over time due to their great pattern recognition and memory. Oh my goodness. You guys got so nervous. I can hear you holding your breath. So station training, again, alligators. They're not tame, so we want to work closely with them. Over repetition and time, this alligator learns to get fed up here. This is the place to go. Here, come up. You guys get a close-up view. Nice. All right. Let's work with Thor some more. Thor, come up. Want to get that jaw pop. Hold. Watching you. Hold. Hold. There it is. Go on, buddy. Alright, let's work with some more alligators. And again, the beautiful part about this show, it's all up to our animals here. I'm not going to pull them out of the water, jump on his back, and make them do a show. They literally choose what they do when they do it. Like Toothless here is up. There we got... Oh! It's Brownwater. Brownwater, here. Come up. Hold. He's got a good pop on him. A very big out. Oh! Nice! Make some noise! I missed it. Alright. Now, this is a display of how this works over time. This alligator is one of our brand new nuisance trapped alligators. That being said, he's not as good as Einstein here. Hold, hold, hold. That's wood. Hold. Oh. Alright, Brownwater here. But Brownwater picked up on this conditioning, opera conditioning, pretty quickly, so I'm going to call him right to this palm tree. Let's see if he'll come to me. Brownwater, here. Brownwater, come on. Come here. Come here. Come up. Hold. Nice job, buddy. Alrighty. Come up. Hold. Come on. Hold. 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 There you go. Alright, I'm going to come out here for, the fadeaway. Let's see if Warthog will get it. There's Warthog charging up. Come on, Warthog. Oh, the tip of the snout. So I want to talk about some more of this jumping behavior. Alligators have amazing vision on each side of their face. There's one blind spot right in front of them. Same with the crocodiles. But they're also very smart at conserving their energy. So they know the longer they wait, the further out we send the line, and the lower to the water it gets a slam dunk. He grabbed the rim and everything. I'm going to name that alligator Michael Jordan. And that's another thing, too. You probably ask yourself, can that crazy Florida guy tell all these alligators apart? I can, but only because I see them every day for almost 12 hours a day. It's kind of like if you guys had identical twins to you, the twins would look very, very different. To me, they look the same if I just met them. The concept extends to these animals. I look at them every day, so little things make them different. Whether it's the teeth, the tail, the head, the size of their body, they're all unique individuals. Thor with the eye, Brownwater with the teeth, Gecko there with her just chubby little self. So there's many things about the alligators that make them individuals. And again, 63 alligators. We have Morlet's crocodiles, West African crocodiles, Siamese crocodiles in this main lake. And my job is primarily to take care of all of them. Let's see. Here we go again. Crocodile versus alligator. Oh! They need some help. Everyone tell them, jump, alligators!
Jump! Jump!
And there's little Thomas. And let's see. They're going head to head. And give them one more round of applause. And how are we looking on chicken? We are down to our last piece, so we're going to try and get our biggest jump yet. I know with this show, I talk a lot, I try and excite you and educate you, but if you can remember one thing from all of my talking, please remember to never, ever, ever feed wild alligators. That's how we got all these alligators. Some silly Florida man fed a backyard alligator. Again, it's illegal, it's terrible for their nature, so never feed alligators. You really want to feed one, come work for me. It'll cost you an arm or a leg. Heyo. But this is our last jump, the grand finale. Who's it gonna be? We're into alligator feeding overtime. And it looks like Clyde, the West African crocodile, thought about it. There's big old Jaws. Jaws went for it. And here comes Jeremiah. Oh! And they can feel the chicken even if they can't see it because all on their faces, black dots are ISOs, sensor organs. Here we go. West African crocodile, Morlet's crocodile. The Morlet's off the crocodile's head. That was with the assist, and this alligator, I'm kidding, all right, we're gonna send it out just a tad, and that's it, all right, that's it, and, here we go, it's anybody's game at this point, and again, this is our great enrichment exercise. These guys get a lot more food. And there it is! Give them a hand. That is the end of the show. I hope you guys had a great time. Once again, my name is Christian, and this is Kobe. And if you did not enjoy the show, my name is Toby, and this is Gabe. Other than that, stay well.
A snake, very good. All right, I'm gonna come around. I'll let you guys pet her. You don't have to if you don't want to. She is a boa constrictor. Now, like I mentioned, she comes from South America and she lives in the rainforest down there. Now, she gets that name red-tailed boa because she has a little bit of red on her tail and she is a boa constrictor. Being a boa constrictor, is she venomous? No, she's not venomous at all. I wouldn't be bringing out a venomous snake for you guys to see. However, what she does is, instead of being a venomous snake, basically you guys can feel her body. She is made of solid muscle. So what she does is, she has these specialized teeth in her face. She reaches out really fast. She'll grab onto you. And then she wraps her body around and squeezes really, really tight. Now you can see she's kind of wrapping around my body. However, she's not being super aggressive or anything like that because she's not trying to eat me. I'm way too big for her to try and eat. Out in the wild, these guys are mostly going to eat birds. They live up in the trees and it's the most readily available food source for them. Now here in captivity, she gets actually frozen thawed rodents, so things like mice, and then eventually rats when she gets bigger. However, if it's a bigger snake, something like a Burmese or reticulated python, they're going to need to eat bigger foods. They also get much, much bigger than this snake. She's about 6 feet long right now, but she's actually only getting up to about 12 feet long for full size. Now, that may seem really big, but Burmese and reticulated pythons get well over 20 feet, so they're not the biggest snake out there. Now these guys, however, for our second question, how long do they live? They live a very long time. These guys live about 30 years in captivity and are a huge commitment for an animal. However, if you guys are able to take care of a 14-foot long snake for 30 years, they are an awesome pet. They're very, very calm. They're very docile. You can see she's just exploring around, having a good time, getting all kinds of sights and sounds around her. Go ahead, buddy. Now, these guys here are very, very friendly, and even though she's not going to try and bite me or anything like that, like I mentioned earlier, she knows me, she knows I'm not going to hurt her, she knows I'm just here to feed her and take care of her. However, there are still 7,000 bites every single year in the United States. However, they make sense once you understand why. Of those 7,000 bites, would you guys be surprised if I told you that over 90% of them are males? Ladies, at least try to look surprised for me. About 18 to 35, they have at least one tattoo. But the real thing that brings them all together is what they were drinking. So the old hold my beer, watch this. Okay? Moral of the story, if you guys don't want to get bit by the snake, just stay away. It's spray, right? These guys are notorious for having a really bad smelling spray in the base of their tail. It's a bright yellow flammable liquid that they can spray up to 15 feet. So everybody on stage here, you guys are all within range. Now, this is actually much worse than just smelling really bad. If this stuff gets in your eyes, it can actually cause temporary or even permanent blindness, so it's actually very, very bad. You do want to stay away from these guys. Now, they do give you plenty of warnings beforehand, before they do spray. These guys like to stomp around, make a little bit of noise, try to make themselves look very scary. However, they don't, so a lot of people actually come in closer and they end up getting sprayed. That is a last line of defense for these guys. They can only carry that spray with one spray, and then after that it has to regenerate, and it takes about a week for that stuff to come back. So you want to use that as a last line of defense. Now, in captivity, these guys live a lot longer than their normal lifespan, which is usually about a year to 3 years old out in the wild. In captivity, they can live anywhere from 6 to usually about 8 years old. Chuck here, and he's also full grown as well. Answer our second question, how big is he going to get? He is roughly about 10 pounds. That's it. That's as big as he's going to get. He actually was a little bit overweight, which is where he got the name Chunk. Now, these guys, as far as what they eat, it's actually pretty common. They actually eat just about the same stuff your dogs eat. Omnivores, they can eat meat, and they can eat fruits and veggies and all kinds of other stuff like that. But also, being able to eat the same stuff as your dogs, they also are allergic to the same stuff. One thing you guys know that dogs are allergic to. Chocolate, right? That's the big one, yeah. Chocolate is very, very bad for dogs. It's also very bad for this guy here. But the worst one, honestly, to look out for are grapes and raisins. One grape is enough to kill one large dog, and some here is like 10 pounds. He's not very large. Definitely want to stay away from those. However, these guys also do eat stuff that dogs don't. One of them is small venomous snakes. They have actually very thick skin, and they're small, immunity to venom. So when they get bit, it doesn't bother them too bad. So it is one of their favorite foods. Well, their favorite food in the whole world is actually honey and honeybees. They're able to eat that because, like I mentioned, the thick skin and the stings don't bother them. So they can walk right on in, they can eat the bees, and they can eat the honey. Now, these guys are awfully, awfully cute. They're a lot of fun. He's very intelligent. They're very personable. You can teach them all kinds of tricks. You can also litter box treat them, however. Snakes take a lot of time and a lot of care. They're not the best pet for everybody. Now, if you do have experience with keeping animals, these guys are awesome with animals. However, if you do want to try and keep them outside, they do still sting after you descend. That is going to go for Chump. We're going to put him back. Let's say bye, Chump. An alligator, very good. This is not a turtle, this is an alligator. If I run, I'll show you guys so you guys can get a good look. But this guy here, he is one of the apex predators in Florida. And that is for a couple different reasons. The first one is they are very, very large. These guys, at their full size, can grow up to 15 feet for males. Females stay a little smaller, around 8 to 10 feet. However, there's still nothing that will eat them other than larger alligators. However, they're not always that big. When these guys are born, they're actually only 6 inches long, and they're kind of called the chicken nuggets of the Everglades. These guys get eaten by literally everything. They get eaten from anything from ants to birds, snakes, fish, turtles, literally everything in Florida eats these guys. So they have to hide, and they do so very, very well. You guys will notice here, he's a very dark colored back along with some bands along his sides. This helps him hide in the grass when he's a little baby to hide from his predators. But as he gets older, he just gets much darker and he loses this banding, and that's actually switches. He becomes from a prey, then he becomes a predator. So now it helps him hide from his prey, where he hides in the water, and that's how they get most of their food. Now, these guys have a very broad-shaped snout, which is very different from a crocodile, which have a V-shaped snout, because these guys are very, very lazy, and they love to crush things like turtles and snails, because they're very, very slow, and they're very easy prey to catch. And once they do that, then the broad-shaped snout, like I said, helps them crush them. Crocodiles are very different. They have a V-shaped snout, which helps them tear prey apart. They can take on much larger prey, things like wildebeest, zebras, and all that stuff out there you see in Africa. But these guys here are much different. They're much more lazy, and they like to just hang out in the sun, sun themselves a lot, and just sit there and wait for food to come with them. If they can just wait at the end of the dock and have you guys throw food in your mouth without them having to eat all of it fat and happy, just taking a lot. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about this guy is how long he lives. These guys do not make for good pets because of how long they live. They live anywhere from 40 to 60 years out in the wild, but in captivity, they can actually live up to 100 years old. These guys live for an incredibly long time. Now, with alligators, these guys have a very good thing with the whites of the front you can see there. And out there, any one time, they have 3,000 to 4,000 teeth throughout their entire lifetime. They basically grow like cups in a stack. Once one comes in, it just pushes the other half to get a new one, and that happens over their entire lifetime. Now, with these guys here, I'll show one last thing before I come around, and that's actually their face. And there's a nose here. And his nose, his eyes, and his ears, which is a little flat behind his eyes, are all on top of his head. This is important for him because it helps him hide in the water. Basically, he can hide his entire body in the water, and he can just pop his whole face up and know everything that's going on around him. Very, very important. Not only does it help him hide food, but it is a strategy they developed. Because from the 1950s to 70s, we actually almost hunted these guys for the break of extinction. Now, they were able to bring their numbers back. There are about 2 to 2.5 million alligators in the state of Florida today, and it's safe to assume if you guys see a body of water in Florida, there's almost always an alligator in it. A lot of times I get the question, what do I do if there's an alligator in that water? Do I have to be scared of it? And the answer is no. These guys are not aggressive towards people. They're actually terrified of us. They're using their entire power to stay away from us, and you'll almost never know that they're there. There are certain circumstances, though, where alligators will approach you and be defensive. The first one is mama protecting her babies. Like I mentioned earlier, they're very vulnerable. So mom hangs around for about 3 years, and she guards them until they get a good size where nothing will eat them. Now, once that size is up, she'll actually kick them out of the nest at 3 years old, and if they don't leave from there, mom actually eats the babies. Yeah, so kids, once you graduate, make sure you move out. But these guys are very defensive, so they will bite you if you do come near them and in their nest. Over 90% of the bites in the state of Florida happen because of our fault. What happens if somebody feeds an alligator, they start to associate food with us, and it causes a huge problem when they actually come up and they end up biting something. Once that happens, they're then able to use this alligator, have to be trapped, and then grabbed by the state, and they can either be put down or harvested for their skin or their meat, which unfortunately is the usual option. However, they can be rescued by somebody like us if you have to. Like I said, that's not usually the case. So if you guys do see an alligator out in the wild, take some pictures, appreciate them from a distance, but just try not to feed them. It does cause a huge issue for them, huge issue for us, and it is illegal here in the state of Florida. If you guys do want to feed one, just come back to Wild Florida, and we'll help you guys. As we do it for our show, I do have one last question. Does anybody actually want to hold this alligator? Yeah? I'm sure I was going to get some answer to that one. If you guys do want to hold it, you guys can. Totally.
Oh my God, look at him. Sorry.